Hi friends, my name is Sonia and welcome to today's lesson. I was just thinking about something, in English, there are so many words, alright, which have the same spelling, okay? However, their meanings are absolutely different. They may or may not sound the same, alright? But because these words can be so confusing, sometimes we don't end up using the correct meaning or the correct pronunciation. If you have ever faced this kind of an issue, then why don't you stay tuned and watch this lesson on homographs. Alright, homographs are nothing but words which have similar spellings, or I could say same spellings, but different meanings. Okay, so let's have a look and see how these different words can spell the same but mean different. Okay, let's clear out that confusion today. I just have a couple of examples. There are many such words. Let's look at the very first spelling that we have on the board here. That's L-I-V-E, okay? This could mean your place of residence. So you could say, I live in New York City. Live, talking about the place of your residence. Then what does this mean? L-I-V-E. That's live. For example, if you are a football fan, okay, you just want to make sure that you watch all of the football matches live, whether they're telecast late in the night or whenever it is. You would not want to miss a live show, okay? Something which is going on at the current time or at the present time. So you could make a sentence like, I love watching live football matches rather than just watching the highlights. The next spelling that I have here is B-O-W. What do I mean when I look at this word? In the first example, I could say bow, which means to bow down. You know, if after you've given a performance on stage, what do? You take a bow, all right? So in a sentence, you could use it like, the children took a bow after their dance recital. Okay, bow, which mostly happens after a performance, on stage mostly. You take a bow. So what does this mean? It has the same spelling. How could it mean different? This is pronounced firstly as bow. What's a bow? A bow is something which is tied in a loop. Okay, like for example, if you see little girls, they wear these pretty dresses, they sometimes have a bow on their dresses. Or, many men also wear bow ties for formal functions. That's what I mean when I say the word bow, a bow tie or a bow which is something that's tied in a loop. Alright, so you could say a bow tie looks really good with a suit, a bow tie. The next example is content, okay? What do I mean when I say content? Content actually means the matter of something. Okay, so for example, you could ask someone, what is the content of this book? What exactly does this book contain? It comes from the word contain. The content, the matter of something, what is inside something. You could even refer to the contents of a packet, the content. So what does this mean then? Content means to be satisfied, all right, to be happy. So I could say to be happy or to be satisfied. So if you're really happy with your job or you're satisfied with what you're doing to earn a living, you could say, I am content. I am content with my job, or I am content with my decision. I am satisfied with my decision. So content and content. Same spelling but absolutely different meanings. The next one I have here is contract. A contract is a common word. I'm sure you must have heard this many a times. A contract is basically an agreement between two people or a group of people. So in a sentence, you could say something like, I have signed a contract with my company. A contract, an agreement. What does this mean then? Have you ever seen a rubber band? Okay, when you pull a rubber band, it stretches. And if you leave it, it contracts. Okay, so the opposite of expansion is contraction. So that's what it means. To contract means to turn small in size, or to go back to something's original shape, original size. So in a sentence, you could use it like, I pulled the rubber band, I stretched it, and I left it, it contracted, it went back to its original size. The next one is very, very common. It's a common mistake also that sometimes we make, okay? I'm going to write one more word here since we are doing these words today and we're talking about confusing words. Okay, so this is a desert. What's a desert? A desert is a hot region. Okay? A desert is a hot region. And what does this mean? To desert someone. To desert someone means to leave someone helpless, without any help at all, and to leave them alone. Okay? So that's to desert someone, to leave someone helpless. Helpless or lonely. And what about this one then? This is dessert. Dessert is something sweet which you eat at the end of a meal. Alright? So desert or hot region. To desert someone is to leave someone helpless or lonely. And dessert is something sweet that you eat at the end of a meal. The next one here is minute. We all know what a minute is. A minute is a time frame of 60 seconds. So in a sentence you could say something like, I'll catch up with you in a minute. As simple as that. But what about this one? This word here means minute. The spelling is the same. The pronunciation is absolutely different. Minute means really tiny or small. Very often we use this word with reference to particles, okay? So for example, if you're a science student, if you're studying science, you would use this word a lot, minute particles. For example, the atom broke into minute or really tiny small particles. Or the glass fell on the floor and it broke into minute pieces, very tiny small pieces. The next one here is the next pair is to tear. To tear means to literally rip apart something. Sometimes when we get angry, we tear things, alright? So to rip apart something, to tear something into pieces. And this is tear. When you're sad, okay, so these are drops of water from the eye. So when you're sad, tears roll down your face. In a sentence, you could use it like, the little child was crying and tears were rolling down her face. Okay, so tear and tear, very different. The final pair we have here is wind and wind. Okay, wind and wind. Wind is basically moving air. All right. So you could say there's a lot of wind blowing today. Now it's chill evening and there's a lot of wind blowing. And what about wind? Okay. Wind is to turn. So for example, if you've ever been to a mountainous area, okay, the roads would be winding down, in some sort of a curvy kind of a pattern. So you could say to turn in a curvy pattern. So in a sentence, I could use wind like when I last visited a hill station, the roads were winding down the mountains. All right. So that's how you can use all of these words, same spellings but different meanings, and in some cases the pronunciation is different. I hope that these common words have clarified your confusion, and I hope that you don't make these mistakes again. I'll be back soon with something more interesting. Till then, you keep practicing and take good care of yourselves. Bye-bye.